Welcome, everybody. This is the first session of the midnight session that we're gonna have 2 times per week. So I'm really happy to start this first midnight session. Okay. So the the topics that we're gonna cover in this first session, we're gonna structure it in 3 main areas. The first one, it's an ecosystem update. Then we're gonna go through something more technical, and then I'm gonna open the mics for everybody to make questions, and we can answer, and we can brainstorm together, and we can go through the Discord questions as well, right? So I invite everybody to go to Mesh Discord as well. We have just opened a new channel, so we can have a structured conversation over there. So let's get started. First, we're gonna go through what are the materials available within the Midnight ecosystem. So we have a new ecosystem catalog available within the Midnight website. So if we go to the ecosystem, we can now see that the Midnight is getting in touch with different companies and different partners. So when mainnet it's ready, we can start providing tools, products, and all the integrations necessary. In the next sessions, we're gonna go in detail on each one of these, but we can just take a quick overview of all of them. We can see that it's divided in different segments. We have AI, block producers, DeFi, ecosystem tooling, gaming, identity solutions, infrastructure, institutional custody, NFT, tokenized real-world assets, and wallets. So we can see that there's a lot of partners going on right now. And part of the things that we do in Mesh, it's create this abstraction tooling for people to use all these partners as well. So we want to integrate Midnight libraries, Midnight SDKs, and also these partners SDK. So you guys can use all these toolings within the Mesh ecosystem. Another things available within the ecosystems, the Midnight core team, it's delivering blogs and podcasts. Blogs, if we take a look, we can see that they are constantly updating with new information. We're gonna go through each one of these blogs, but the latest that it was released, it was related the Testnet O2 upgrade. So Midnight just went through this upgrade. They're updating the libraries. There is still some bugs that people are discovering, so this is part of the process. But what has changed for this Testnet O2? If we take a look, we can see that there's been an upgrade for the partner chains. It went from 1.2 to 1.5, and this added some features. Now, partner chain supports the Cardano's BIP32 ED 25519 extended keys. So something that Cardano uses as well. So what they are aiming, it's interoperability in this case. Use existing toolings in Cardano so they can use that tooling within Midnight as well. Since the first SPOs are gonna be the Cardano SPOs, we better use the toolings that we have available within the Cardano ecosystem. Then they eliminated the couple. They don't need any they don't need to install couple for the Midnight SPOs. And then they remove the PC contract CLI, and they reduce the risk of re-registration. At the end, this is all developer experience for new SPOs joining the Midnight ecosystem. So it lowers the barriers for new SPOs to start making part of this ecosystem, right? Then another feature, it's a switch from Pluto's Aries to BLS. This is a nice upgrade, actually, which involves the library within the proving system. So at the end, what this is about, it's also about interoperability, right? So Cardano, Identus, they both use uh, this PLS family. So yeah, at the end, we're going to be able to talk with Cardano, Identus, and all these proof systems are going to be able to communicate between each other. So this is a really nice upgrade. Then there's been some improvement regarding the ledger storage implementation. So communication storage between client and service of the midnight ecosystem, it happens really quick. And well, this is the main three changes of this upgrade to Testnet O2, plus all the upgrades that happen within the Midnight SDK. So we're going to have to upgrade those libraries to be able to run these new instances. Then another really important material being provided by the Midnight Core team are podcasts. So the latest podcast, it was in March 27th, right? I recommend you guys to take a look at them. They're really inspiring. And as new comes in, I will provide a summary about those podcasts. Another really nice material being provided by Midnight, it's now a education segment. So something that we want to do here as well is kind of giving a summary of what's going on within the Midnight ecosystem and going through the tooling. They also are planning to create some education materials in a more specific way, right? So this education, it started with the academy. So if we go to what is available within the academy, we can see here that they say, welcome to the Midnight Developer Academy, your guided journey into blockchain's development, with a focus on zero knowledge proof, privacy, and Midnight platform. So far, they have delivered 3 modules out of 8, and they're really nice material. On the next session, we're gonna go through each one of those, right? We're gonna start with module 1, and we're gonna study the topics that they are discussing here. I recommend for you to go through all this material, but in the next session, we're gonna through all these topics, so we can understand what is blockchain and what is the technology we need to understand to actually understand how Midnight works. And then another material really nice to take a look at, it's the dev diaries. So these dev diaries, it's kind of a more technical overview of some specific tooling that we also want to go through the next sessions. We are right now taking an overview of what material we have available, but then we're going to go through in detail of each one of these materials, right? So we can see here that somebody's talking about how the indexer works, topics about Web3, how the Midnight Testnet upgrade is going to work, and really nice topics. So we want to go through all of them in the next session. And another meeting that we are having on it's on Wednesday. It's gonna be the DevRel Hanks. So this is pretty much a session that lasts 1 hour that people share what's going on within the ecosystem, and developers can talk about what products they're building, some bugs, or just open discussions. In the last DevRel Hank, we had Patrick from NMaker as a guest, and I put here some important topics that were mentioned during that meeting. NFT as real world asset, that's a huge topic that's going to happen. Taking in consideration how privacy can be embedded within NFT. He mentioned that the NFT, the engine for creating the NFTs, it's really different between how it works in Cardano and how it's going to work in Midnight, because of the way how privacy plays a role in the blockchain. So this project of EndMaker and NFT, it's gonna be really nice, and it's gonna happen in Midnight as well. So that's good news for everybody. And then we have the hackathons. So hackathons, it's gonna happen once every month in theory, and we have an ongoing hackathon regarding to tooling. So that's why us, Mesh, and you guys are. It's a really nice hackathon. It's the first one regarding to tooling, and the next hackathons we plan to do the same process, right? That we are giving guidance during this process, and we invite everybody to join the Mesh Discord. We have created a special channel for Mesh Midnight where everybody can open a question, and we provide some answers and create a link with the Midnight, so we can things that we don't know, or features that we need to add on the ecosystem. We can go through all this process between us, the community, and the Midnight core team. Okay, so now let's go deep into something more technical. There's been a new upgrade that, as I mentioned, the Testnet O2, that involve upgrading the Midnight libraries. So the Midnight team, it's now providing those examples as open source GitHub repos. So now they have provided this repo, which is under the Midnight Network organization, and there is this repo called example counter. So this is the most simple example that we can do with Midnight, but it's really it provides a lot of understanding of how every pieces of within Midnight infrastructure connects each other, so we can actually deploy a contract. So now we have this repo, and the way to install it, you just have to clone it. So you just copy the link, and then you go to your IDE, and you just git. Okay. So you just git clone, and you just put the link. I have already cloned it, so I have it over here, right? So to test this repo, you need to have installed first Node. So to check you have installed Node, you put Node version. I have it installed. I have version 23, and then you have to install the compile, right? How to install that? You have to go to the documentation. You guys can also go through my previous YouTube tutorials how to install the compact, but make sure to always take a look here at the release notes compatibility matrix, and here are the versions that you need to have in order for all this infrastructure to work together, right? If you're installing a version that it's not in this compatibility matrix, you're gonna have issues when you try to communicate with the instances. So the latest compact version that we have to install, it's a version 0.23. So if I go to the cursor, I have already installed the compact. You can check by compact C version. We have the version 0.23. Perfect. So now, having that, we only have 10 minutes to go through the technical part. So in future sessions, we're gonna go through each specific details of this repo. But the thing that we're gonna see today, it's specifically the part of the compact code. So if we go to contract source, we have this file with extension .compact. So if I open that file, I can see here the code. It's really simple. Basically, 4 lines of code. The first one, we are saying to compact that we want to use the language version 0.15. The next line, I'm importing the standard library. So this standard library provide us with some specific functions already developed, so we don't have to do it by ourselves. Then I'm exporting a ledger, right? So within Compact, we have 3 specific variables in a holistic way: the ledger, witness, and circuits. So the ledger, which is what's going to live in the ledger in the blockchain, we are defining a variable called round, and it's going to be of type counter. And then I'm specifying a circuit, which is, I call it increment. I have no argument. The output is going to be an empty array. And what is this circuit going to do? I'm just calling the round variable, which is of type counter. And this type counter has some methods. How do I know that it has methods? Again, we can go through the documentation, and we can see in build, we have some reference documentation. Here we can find all related to the Compact language, and in Midnight APIs, we can find everything about the Midnight SDKs. So since we're doing a Compact code, we are going to open the Compact, and here we can see the how to write Compact, right? So ledger data types, it's something that we are looking for right now. So in ledger data types, we can see here on the right the different types that we can write on the Compact code, and we see here that we have a type called counter. So this counter has some methods: decrement, increment, less than, read, reset to default. So if I go to counter, I can see in more details the specification of these methods. And the one that we're going to use right now, it's increment. So we can increment by an amount of type uint16. So if we go back to our code, we can now know that we can call this variable round. We're going to have some methods, in this case, increment. And whenever we call this circuit, what it's going to do, it's going to increment by 1 the value of this variable counter. Perfect. So now we have the code. How do we run it? How do we compile it? So to compile it, we just have to run npm run compact c compact. So you just have to run npm run compact. So this is the output. We can see that we have compiled one circuit, and one circuit that is called increment, and we have k10 and rows 29. What means these numbers? It's pretty much the size of the circuit. So it has 29 rows, and we have a domain system of 10. And when compiling, we also the compilation process creates this folder called managed. So under this managed, we have created these other 4 folders. So we can take a look of what's inside. Within the compiler, we have a blueprint of our construct. So we can see here that we have the circuit called increment. It's a pure circuit, it's false, which means it's not a pure circuit. It has no arguments, and the result, it's an empty tuple. Then we have the contract itself. So this is the class that was created for us. So Compact, it's a DSL, domain specific language, right? So we write code in some specific syntax, which is Compact, and then that code gets compiled to JavaScript. So Compact does all this stuff for us, and the result is this JavaScript. So we don't have to understand what's inside, right? But at the end, if we take a look really quick, what's inside, we have a contract class, which has some methods: initial state. We have a increment, which is the circuit. And then we have a function called ledger. and then we have our pure circuits. In this case, we don't have any pure circuits. We're gonna go in detail in these topics in later sessions. And then we have the types for our contract. So here is how we're gonna define when we are writing our TypeScript, how to define the types. So these two files these files gonna be really important to define the types of those functions and the layer variables and our witnesses. Okay, and the other two folders that were created, it's keys and CKIRs. What are these? Keys, for each circuit that we compile, we wanna create a key for each circuit. We're gonna have a prover key and a verifier key. So this is binary, right? But at the end, we're gonna have these two keys necessary to create all these circuits, and this is how Midnight works. And then we have a CKIR. This is a language necessary to compile to create those keys and to actually create a circuit. This is kind of the procedure to create the gates. So if we take a look, we can see that we have a procedure. We don't have to understand. Compact does all this stuff for us. So these materials, which is our cryptographic materials, plus the JavaScript, plus the types, it's all what we need to actually create our smart contracts in Midnight. Well, so in this session, we went through the compact code, how to compile it, and what are the outputs about. In the next sessions, we're going to go through actually how to write our witnesses and how this counter communicates with the counter CLI, which is actually how we can start talking with the instances of Midnight. Okay, so now we're gonna open for some questions and answers, discussions. We can go through Discord to see if we have any questions. So well, I'm just gonna open the microphones for anybody to ask questions, discussions, or any comments regarding the hackathon. It's just open for everybody to ask questions. And I'm gonna share here the perfect. So well, if anybody has any question, you can just go ahead.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. So today itself, I was going through your tutorial, like which was released 2 months ago in the YouTube, and I was facing some errors because there was like no dependency versions. Then I contacted the Discord server, and they said that they have released in the GitHub repository the newer version of that example counter what you just showed here.
Yeah,
it's very helpful. Like, right now, I can able to like run the smart contract and do the transactions itself. So my question is, like this example counter, does that particular repo have any or any other that particular billboard example as well? Like this is the counter example recent. So that billboard example, do you have any new billboard example? Because that was also not running in the previous.
Yeah. So the way that those previous examples were actually downloaded was by a zip file. So what we did was download it and put it on the mesh repo. But these now are deprecated, right? The new way to provide the examples are going to be now on repos. So you can see here that in Midnight, you have the example counter. This is the first open source repo provided by Midnight. They haven't released yet the bulletin board, which is the second example. We are working on it as well, and we're gonna provide it on the mesh repo as well. Where it's a work in progress, and just something to mention what we are planning to do on top of what Midnight is doing on these examples is that we went through the contract example, how to run it, how to compile it, and then the other folder is called the control CLI that uses some TUI, so it's a text user interface. But we are planning to add the UI. So actually, you're gonna be able to install these repos and run it with Next, for example, and actually see the counter, how it talks with the proof server, with your wallet extensions, all within a web frame.
Yeah, that's very cool. One more question I have, like, do you have any templates? Like, it's certainly it's for the counter example, but if I want to write my own smart contract, I can compile, but do you have any template that can run or maybe provide some uh, instructions, inputs?
Sure, Paul. So what happened right now? If you go to Mesh Midnight repo and under examples, you're gonna see that we are planning to include all these examples. One that it's already available, it's the Midnight Auction Token, which is a project we presented during the 2 hackathons ago. So this is a working contract with UI, and it's really complete and complex. So if we go into this repo, you can see that we have all the materials. Just one issue. This was developed using the previous libraries, right? So with the instances, with the Testnet O2 new instances, these libraries are not gonna work. But if you want, first, we're gonna update this documentation. So this is a work in progress. But second, if you want to test them right away, you can use your local instances. So you don't need to depend on the instances available on the cloud, right? Testnet O2. You can actually use Docker and run instances that were provided previously that are compatible with the libraries that we're using in this repo. So if you go here to package.json, you can see here what are the libraries, and you can see what are the instances that we depend on. And using Docker, you just have to use the local version. You spin up the local instances, and this example is going to work. Obviously, it's not going to work with remote mode because the new instances in the cloud are new, right? But if you're using local, you can make this project run. You can take a look at YouTube, Paul, how what is the end result of this application. It's an auction platform, really nice, and you can take a look and you can run it. But the way I mentioned, in the future, we're gonna upgrade all these so you can also run it on remote.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Well, if it's not any other question, I'm just gonna invite everybody here on Discord. Just gonna put it here. We have now created a new channel under the Mesh organization, which is Ask Midnight. So you can go over here, and whenever you have a question, you can create over here, and we're gonna through the answers and collaborate along with the Midnight team. We're talking constantly with the DevRel team. So well, this is a way to provide some help and guidance through the hackathon as well. So if you have any question regarding the hackathon, you can put it over here. And we have 2 projects that are really aligned with the current hackathon, which is NFT project that John Santi is working on. So anybody that is interested on working on this NFT, just get in contact with John and you can join the team. And we're working also on a wallet widget. So anybody that wants to understand how this wallet widget, you can contact Ivan. He's in charge of these projects. And also we are doing the adapt scaffold. So who's responsible right now? It's David from Ecuador. So anybody can jump on these projects, and if you want to create your project by your own, you are free also to just make any questions here on Discord, and we are going to be happy to help you guys. Well, that's all for this session. The next session is gonna be on Thursday, and the idea is the same. We're gonna go through all the latest updates on the ecosystem. We're gonna go through some technical aspects. We're gonna keep exploring the repo of this contract, and then we're gonna go through also some questions and answers. Well, see you for next session. Thank you.